The meaning that sustains you through difficult times is to be found through the adoption of voluntary responsibility. That's a quote that I outlined when I was watching a Jordan Peterson video. It was an interview with Vivek Ramaswamy, who's I think he's a Republican candidate that's running for presidency in 2024. But it was kind of weird because the video I was watching had nothing to do with this at all. He was just speaking with him. I just clicked on the video because it was interesting, and there was a part where he was just speaking about how men are just demoralized and everything. We have like no meaning in life, and he went through this 2 minute monologue. I actually recorded it. I have it saved on my phone to go back to it. But that quote is a quote I will not be forgetting for a really long time, because I think it's the key, right? We always think about how how you can get out of your misery, basically, how you can get out of your motivationless slump. And usually it's you need to find a why, but no one ever really like elaborates on what that means. And how you find that why, to put it into simple words, of what Jordan Peterson said, is that to find a why that will get you through the difficult times, you need to adopt voluntary responsibility. Now, you need a goal, right? And what I'm going to be saying in this video is basically on the premise of what I learned in the 2 minute monologue I recorded on Jordan Peterson's podcast. But yeah, what he said was that you need a goal that will sustain you through difficult times. Now, what is the nature of that goal? It can't be happiness, because happiness is flimsy and it's absent during times of trouble. So you need something more concrete, right? And what gets you through those difficult times is a structure. You need a structure. You need your friends, your close friends. You need your family. You need a partner. You need a career that's meaningful, that does its job basically, and that you look forward to doing for the most part. And you mentioned a couple other things, but you need a structure that's going to get you through those difficult times. And how do you build that structure? You need a structure that you have sacrificed for. It can't just be a structure you've just been given. You need to sacrifice for it, right? Because that's where the meaning comes from. Now, what is the nature of that sacrifice? And basically what he said was that the nature of that sacrifice is through the adoption of voluntary responsibility. Now, if this already clicked, like if I said that sentence at the start and it instantly clicked in you, then you're onto something. Now we can start to break it down. Adoption of voluntary responsibility. Now that opens up a whole array of options, because you can choose what kind of responsibility you want to take on, and that's up to you. Now I'm going to talk in this video the process I went through to kind of figure this out. And quite ironically, well, not ironically, more coincidentally, this I figured this out a week after I spoke with my uncle, and he was telling me about like responsibility. And I told him like, oh, your generation was able to go through tough times because, oh well, you had your responsibilities, they were kind of clear, right? You need to make money so you can like send money to your family back home or whatever. That was clear. But for someone like us, we're quite privileged. We don't have to do all of that. So I don't have that meaning. And he was like, you do have that meaning. It's just packaged differently. And I was like, huh. Instantly when I heard that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. So what is the nature of the process that I went through to figure out what my voluntary responsibility is going to be? Well, instantly I thought, well, I have a little brother. This is not a healthy or a kind climate to young men. So instantly I need to become a role model for him, right? I need to be someone worth listening to, and I need to achieve things in life, and I need to be like cool in his eyes basically. But I need to be someone he can look up to, like he can say, oh, role model, my older brother. That's an instant one, right? But then for most people, well, not most people, but a lot of people don't really have those younger siblings, and even if you do, it's not the most galvanizing of reasons. And another one you can do is your future family, and that's one I'm holding on to, is future wife and future kids. There's things like, there's a person I need to be to meet those people. And my last video I posted, or I think it's 2 videos ago, I spoke about, well, if I met my future wife right now, or the woman that's going to be my future wife, I wouldn't be ready, right? There's a whole lot of things I need to do. There's a person I need to be. And that's why like the tests I'm going through now is basically God testing me to prove myself that I'm worthy of like to date and have kids to date, marry, and have kids with his daughter, right? And that's something there. That's, I need to adopt that voluntary responsibility. I'm adopting the voluntary responsibility of the man I need to become. It requires sacrifice. Like, to become that man, I need to sacrifice. To become a man worthy of like fathering. Dude, I spoke about how it's difficult for like my little brother. If I have kids, this is a very difficult world to bring your kids into. Very difficult, and you need to be resilient and stoic. And there's a process you need to go through to get through that. And when I spend all my days watching YouTube or engaging in hedonism and instant gratification, I'm just delaying the process. And I'm going to keep delaying the process indefinitely until, well, either I have a wake up call and I stop doing it, or until it's too late for me to like have my wife and kids and I miss out on that opportunity, right? And that's a responsibility I want to adopt. Now, a realization I had in my journal about 2 days ago was that, okay, I want a future wife and kids, and that's a reason to work hard. But for some reason, it's just not like that galvanizing. And I realized the reason it's not galvanizing is because it's kind of far away, right? It's kind of far away. And the way I kind of brought that feeling closer and made it a more potent source of motivation was that I thought, oh, if I meet my future wife now, what would I be doing, right? If I was to just, God was like, oh, he's not gonna tell me like covert, oh, this is your future wife. But if I meet a woman and we get along and we start dating, I'm like, this might be my future wife. Like if that happens in the next couple of months, it's like, well, crap. I have a lot of things to do, right, before I can actually like get married and have kids and everything. And that's my adoption of voluntary responsibility. And it might not be the same as mine, or it might be, but spend some time to think about this. And it's going to take a while because I made this realization, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm still chewing on it. I'm still working through it. So, I mean, that statement I gave you at the start, it's fantastic, from Jordan Peterson. And yeah, just think about it. Make sure you subscribe to join the Self Improvement Brotherhood. And until next time, see you boys.